Library and Historical Society for asking us to do a concert from a distance, and we're delighted to be a part of the concert series there. Ian and I have been playing and making bagpipes for the last year or so, and we met when we both were a part of a performance that was put on by Apollo's Fire, and ever since then we've been making music together, and so we're delighted to be able to share some of that music that we put together with you. We're going to start off with a set of music from Ireland. The first one is a slow air, or a song, called "For Ireland I Will Not Tell Her Name." No.
Yeah, no, you got it. Ireland, I will not
okay?
tell you. Yep.
"For Ireland I Will Not Tell Her Name."
Yep.
And the second one is a reel called "Farewell to Ireland." Okay.
This next tune, called March of the San Patricios, is about a Mexican battalion that was active during the Mexican-American War. Many of the soldiers of this battalion were Irishmen who had come to the United States and then defected to the Mexican military.
And here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello everybody, my name is Brian Bigley, and this is my workshop. I have been making uilleann pipes since I was 19. After high school, I moved out to New York to work for a prolific pipe maker called Seth Gallagher. And shortly after working for Seth, I worked for a world-renowned flute maker called Petra Goldwell down near Charlottesville, Virginia. When I was maybe 24, I purchased this machine right here, and that sort of was my first big step towards starting my own business, making uilleann pipes. People often wonder how long it takes to make a set of bagpipes, and I estimate that it takes about 150 or 160 hours to make a full set of pipes. There's about 260 parts in a standard set of pipes, and they're all handmade. They're all made here in Strongsville, Ohio.
The next tune you'll hear is called She Moved Through the Fair. This is a tale of love lost, and it's a traditional Irish song.
My young law said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't slight you for your lack of kind. And she stepped away from me, and this she did say, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. She stepped away from me, and she moved through the fair. And fondly I watched her go here and go there. Then she went her way homeward with one star away. As the swan in the evening moves over the lake. The people were saying, no two were e'er wed, but one has a sorrow that never was said. And I smiled as she passed me with her goods and gear, and that was the last thing I saw of my dear. I dreamed it last night that my young love came in. So softly she entered, her feet made no din. She came close beside me, and this she did say, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day.
Members are familiar with the Scottish Highland pipes, which you see in the St. Patrick's Day parade. The pipes that I play are a little bit different. They have evolved in Western Europe, but the Irish have taken claim of them, and they're called the Uilleann pipes. Uilleann is the Irish word for elbow, and you'll see underneath my right arm that there's a bellows that provides the air rather than blowing into it. Some unkind observers have suggested that perhaps the Irish came up with the bellows so that they could drink and play at the same time. Got no comment on that. The air goes from the bellows into the bag underneath my left arm, and from there the air is pushed into the chanter, which I play with my 10 fingers and my knee. The air also travels into this main stock here, and into the 3 drones under the bottom here. And on top of the drones are 3 regulators, which are basically stopped chanters. And the regulators have keys on top that I play with my wrist to provide harmony to what's being played on the chanter. In good Irish fashion, these regulators regulate absolutely nothing. My teacher growing up was a fellow called Michael Kilbane, and he was fond of saying that the primary difference between the Irish pipes and the Scottish pipes is that the Irish pipes are actually a musical instrument. This next set that we're going to play for you, we associate with 2 very famous pipers. The first piper is an Irish Uilleann piper by the name of Liam O'Flynn, who last year died, and the Irish music world was very sad at his passing. The first one we got from him, it's called Old Joe's Jig. The second tune that we play is a tune that we got from Gordon Duncan, the famous Scottish piper. He was very famous for his rhythmic playing, and this one is a testament to that. It's called The Last Tango in Harris. next tune we're going to play for you we got from a band called Vessin, a Swedish band, Swedish traditional band, and the tune is called Tanya's. It's written by Roger Tallroth.
All right, today I'm playing the Northumbrian half-longs, more commonly known today as the border pipes. Border pipes were the most popular during the Baroque era, and they have enjoyed a revival recently. As you can see, it has 4 drones, this particular set. They're pitched in A and E, or A and D sometimes. The chanter is sort of similar to the big Highland bagpipes, but it's scaled down a little bit in volume. The scaling it down also gives me the ability to play accidentals not normally found on the Highland bagpipe chanter. Similar to the Uilleann pipes, there's a bellows that pumps air into the bag, and then it lacks those, you can see, the regulators and extra notes that the Uilleann pipes have. This next set is our Appalachian or American set, and it consists of Across the Rocky Mountain, Bonaparte Crossing the Rockies, Campbell's Farewell to the Red Gap, and the last one, Jump in the Well, Pretty Little Miss. The music of Appalachia is uniquely connected to Ireland and Scotland due to the many immigrants that came to these shores.
Celtic Connections. The music of the Celts is enduring. It has traveled far and wide, adapted to many different locations and instruments, blended and evolved. Like the Celts themselves, it is through this evolution that the music has been both renewed and preserved. Our program today, Celtic Connections, focuses on music from Ireland, Scotland, and the United States. The Scottish and Irish immigrated widely in the 18th to 20th centuries. When they moved, their music moved with them. It changed as they changed, and it adapted to local circumstances, instruments, and influences. Before 1790, more than 3 million Scots-Irish immigrants came to North America from what is now Northern Ireland. At the same time, across the North Channel in Scotland, the Highland clearances were displacing many Scots, who left for American shores and elsewhere. In Ireland, the potato famine of 1847 resulted in approximately 4 million eventually immigrating to the U.S. All of these groups brought with them similar musical traditions and styles. They came to the United States, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. As the settlers adapted to new circumstances, their music gradually changed. In the United States, the Scots-Irish Appalachian settlers' orally transmitted tunes and songs took on even more variation. Distances between settlements, the passage of time, the reliance on one's memory, and the lack of formal musical literacy created the perfect conditions for the emergence of countless variations of traditional tunes and songs. One good example of this phenomenon is the Scottish folk ballad Barbara Allen. Popular throughout the British Isles, there are also countless versions of the song known in North America. The song has also become known under various names such as Barbara Allen's Cruelty, Hard-Hearted Barbary Ellen, Sir John Graham, and Bonnie Barbara Allen, just as a few examples. This multiplicity of names is such a common occurrence that a quick check on any online folk music database will show that many tunes are known by multiple names. Occasionally, a tune or song can be traced from North America to a nearly identical twin in the British Isles or vice versa. The traditional old-time tune, High Hop Ladies, the Cakes All Dough, is nearly identical to the Scottish tune, Miss McLeod's Reel. Available instruments also influenced the rhythms and articulation of tunes. Often the fiddle was the instrument of choice. The bagpipe, an instrument ubiquitous with Celtic identity today, was strangely absent from Appalachian life, although traces of its influence can still be found in drone accompaniments and idiomatic embellishments. An iconic Appalachian instrument, the banjo, was brought to Appalachia in the late 18th century. It is an instrument of African origins introduced to the Americas by African slaves. The presence of the instrument may have had a substantial influence on the prevalence of reels over jigs in Appalachia. One theory is that the reel rhythms that are easily incorporated into banjo technique don't serve the player as well in jig time. Other times, the instruments of the old country thrived in the new land. The Highland Bagpipe, which wasn't present in Appalachia, was prominent in Cape Breton. The Cape Breton immigrant community contained many pipers, and while they played the traditional classical music of the Highland pipe, they also played music for dancing. The bagpipes remain a prominent part of Cape Breton culture with a distinct Cape Breton style. The wave of Irish immigrants after the potato famine brought Uilleann pipe players and makers to the United States. One pair of brothers, William and Charles Taylor, left their shop in Ireland and re-established themselves in Philadelphia. They are largely credited with the creation of the modern large-bore concert D sets that are in common use with many pipers today. These new sets were louder and tuned to modern concert pitch to meet the demands of playing in concert halls. Of course, the role of the Highland regiments in the British military contributed greatly to the spread of Celtic music, although of a more formalized and standardized variety. Army pipe bands developed in the mid-1800s, and the music of the army pipe bands and pipers accompanied Scottish units wherever they went.
Another American tune we're going to do for you today is Kedron. It's a shape note hymn from the Sacred Harp.
How never grief remember me, how never canst thyself forget my last expiring agony, my fainting pangs and bloody sweat. My last expiring agony, my canst thyself forget thy last expiring agony, thy fainting pangs and bloody sweat, thy last expiring agony, thy fainting pangs and bloody sweat.
Next, Uilleann is going to give us a song that comes from Scotland. It's a love song that is very popular called The Wild Mountain Time.
Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? I will build my love tower 'neath yon pure crystal fountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the mountain. Will ye go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pick wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? My true love, she were gone, I would surely find another to pick wild mountain thyme all among the purple heather. Will ye go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to pick wild mountain thyme all around the blue heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? Will ye go, lassie, go?
So now we have two tunes from North America, one a newer tune called Brenda Stubbard's Reel, which is by, I believe it's a Newfoundland fiddler, Jerry Holland. And the second one is a traditional Appalachian tune called Ducks on the Mill Pond.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. war